everybody, and welcome back to another episode where I walk you through how to get the achievements in StarCraft 2. This time we're in Heart of the Swarm, and the mission we're doing is Back in the Saddle. The achievements we're going to be getting is Back in the Saddle. Complete the mission. Full Throttle. Prevent the tram from losing an engine. And Brutal Legend. Don't take any damage from the Archangel on normal. Now this mission's actually pretty simple. It's a fairly straightforward run around if you're used to MOBAs or anything like that. Kerigan has two different abilities that you use. One is for single targeting like heavy units such as ghosts and mechs and marauders, and then the other is for targeting groups like bunches of zerglings, marines, and it incapacitates them for a second. Both of these abilities have cooldowns on them. They're not too long, but they're pretty simple to use. Like I said, if you're familiar with MOBAs, these abilities are just a piece of cake. Yeah, you'll want to keep her AoE ability up for when these drop pods come down. I'd wait like a second, and then the Marines will pop out of them, and then you just gotta target them with the AoE ability, and it grabs all the units that pop out. And if you see a Ghost or a Firebat or a Marauder, go ahead and use your single target ability on that one. And it'll save you from taking damage. It'll save you from losing Marines that are helping you. Also, there'll be these little health kits which restore 100 health and 100 energy to you throughout the levels, so those are useful. In this next part, it's going to have a bunch of Zerg come in. It's pretty simple. Wait for a second for the Zerg to bunch up, and then use your AoE ability, and it basically stuns them all in the air, and you and the soldiers can just mop them up real quick. And if you get too overwhelmed, there's a health kit right there in the corner of the room. Basically Nova saying, "I've breached the facility. No, Kerigan, I'm here to kill you. Make it easy and surrender." And of course, she's not going to do that because that would end the game way too soon. This Firebat, use the single target. You can just go ahead and regularly kill that Marine, and then use your AoE on these guys. Or you can just run past them. The Zerg will keep them preoccupied. I just choose to run past all these guys. If you need to, use your AoE to stun them for a minute and go down, not up, as I did there, because you take unnecessary damage there. Ignore the Hydra List and the Firebat that comes out, because they'll start engaging each other. Just walk right past everything and then go into that room. There'll be a health kit in there, so don't worry about losing health. This next one, that dude usually dies, but if you run past, the Zergs will get distracted by you, and they'll leave him alone, so I usually like doing that. Which you can go ahead and kill those things, but I decided to deal with the Hydra List first, the Ultralisk first, and then come back and mop these guys up. Also, these debris fields that are between us and the Ultralisk, they die to one of your single targeting abilities. So if you're in a hurry, you can just single target that down and it'll get out of the way. wonder the Zerg hate us. Look at what they're doing to that little dude in the corner. Poor thing. Oh, right, I'm fighting. Yeah, go ahead. On that one, I went ahead and targeted down the Marauder because I know it had a ghost in there too, but the Marauders, they slow you down. So I don't like being slowed because it slows the damage I'm doing, and I'm only got one unit, so yeah, let's not do that. See, this is where it shows you can just use one of your single targeting abilities to get rid of the debris that's in the way. I don't know why I didn't do that earlier in the mission, I'm not sure. There's going to be 2 Marauders in here. Go ahead and target down one, and then just clean up the other one. Now in this next room, it's going to ask you to release either gas or release the Zerg. I always release the Zerg because if not, you have to deal with all the mechs in there, and the tanks can be real pain in the butt. So I just usually release the Zerg. You usually have like, I think, 2 to 4 Marines that are alive, and then the 2 walkers, but the tank will be gone, and so will all the Marines. Well, except for like 2 of them, but... And then you can just pretty much run straight through. If you want, you can deal with them. I tend to go up the ramp and then kind of bottleneck everything so it's easier before I deal with anything. But you don't have to, because right behind them, those Marines I just AoE'd, there's a waypoint up there, so you can just run straight through like you did the others. You don't even have to fight these guys. And again, if you get low on health, there's a health kit in this room, so just run by, snag it, and keep going. Alright, now we're going to be moving on to the tram. This one's a pretty simple mission. You're going to be using your single target ability a lot. Every once in a while, you won't be able to... it'll be on cooldown while there's something attacking. Don't worry about it. Prioritize medevacs because they carry units in them, and you do not want those units on the thing because it takes longer to deal with. Like this one, yeah, you can just single target that and it's fine. And then there's 2 med packs on this one, on this tram, one at the front and one at the back, so. And stuff dies relatively quick to you, so you don't really have to worry about it. And as long as you prevent things from landing on the tram, you have a backup of like 4 Marines. I'm just glad these wraiths didn't decide to, like, go camo. Stealthing in a wraith would be not good, because I wouldn't be able to deal with that. Yay, we're outside. Oh, throw that up. No medevacs. And like I said, when you're targeting down the medevacs, if you do miss one and it drops something like a tank or something like that, just throw your AoE down on it and it'll stun the whatever drops, so this way you can deal with it. Bye bye bye. Send it notifications. Yeah, this one's pretty simple. It's just a game of whack-a-mole. I think right here is where I actually get a medevac that drops. That's just because they send 2 at once, one from both sides, so it's like you kind of gotta pick which one. I go for the one on the left because the one on the right, it holds a tank, but it's just easier to do with just the single tank instead of a group. See? So once you just AoE the tank, when it drops, it doesn't get a chance to fire, and then you just, if it does, run over, pick up a health pack, and you're fine. Yay, checkpoint. This part was kind of rough for me because at first I didn't realize that the Archangel would hit you when it's not shooting the red stuff at you. So I didn't think about its miniguns that were whirring up. Even though that's in the next part, I was skipping it. Now is when you get to the Archangel. Yeah, looks like you have big old force to fight this thing. Nope, just you. Go ahead and head for that top left corner, because this way, he goes in a kind of like semicircle arc with those cannons. He won't target at you, he'll just target the Marines at first. So just, as soon as your your single target comes up, go ahead and use that on him. As soon as he starts shooting missiles, stay moving, because those missiles, you don't want to get hit by. And always keep your single target AoE on, single target ability on cooldown with him. And then he's gonna drop pods full of Marines. Just pick those up with the your AoE ability, and watch my Marines get run over because they ran right into his path. This one, kind of stay towards the middle, because it's easier to dodge his abilities, because he goes one side than the other. On this part, he's gonna do 2 passes, and then he's gonna land in the middle. Make sure when he lands in the middle, you are nowhere near him, because when he lands, he's gonna do an AoE, and if you're anywhere close to that, you're gonna get hit with that and not get the achievement. See, now he's gonna come down. Get out of the way, get out of the way. Whoosh. Yes. Alright. Oh, he looked at me. Run away! On this part, you can kind of like pick him down. I just sit there and pick on him for a little bit, and then as soon as my AoE comes up, just smack him down. Right here, Kerigan's saying, "Jim, we need to get you out." Jim's like, "I can't get to you. Go on ahead. I'll have Valerian pick me up." Alright, I can do that. Valerian's like, "I'm sending a team after you now." Don't screw this up, Valerian. Jim, we can't get to you. Yeah, basically, Valerian drops the ball on this one because the Dominions cut him off, and he can't get to Raynor, so they cap. Actually, Kerigan and the others think they kill Raynor, so well, Kerigan doesn't know yet, so she won't know for a while. Here comes Nova. And here Nova's remembering from the past game, where you were supposed to help her out with siding with her against Tosh, but I kind of sided with Tosh. Even though I released, you know, the crazy psychopaths, I also released all the scientists and anybody that stood up to Minx that was arrested, so I went with them over going with Nova. And that's how you do it. That's how to get all the achievements in Back in the Saddle. My name's Anthony, and I hope to see you guys again in one of the later videos. Thank you for watching.